from set pieces. This time it's in towards the back post again. Marin is right in the face of the referee as Freeman tried to get on the end of that one for what would have been a second goal of the game for him.
What an opportunity. Watch Freeman, he just picks the fight of the ball early on. You know, it's bending and it kind of just tucks underneath him. And really comes off of him. He doesn't get a chance to attack it first. Well defended. US a little lucky there.
Tolkien swings it towards the front post where Salazar will head away. Here's Aidan Morris, the Middlesbrough man. Tillman down the left side. Berhalter. Strong challenge there from Tillman. And here's Freeman in round the back. The way opens up for Alex Freeman! Incredible! Alex Freeman dances through. He's got two. And the United States are 3-0 up on Uruguay after half an hour's play.
Just a crunching tackle. And you just watch this lovely footwork, excellent skill and balance. You know, gets a slight little deflection at the end, but just as the ball comes forward, I love it. Little feint, lovely footwork. You know, just excellent control in tight spaces at top speed. You know, the deflection is what lifts it up over the goalkeeper, but this is tough at top speed to just caress that ball in between the three defenders. What an incredible goal, and what a start for the U.S.
A third career brace for club and country for Alex Freeman. Most recently, in September of last year, he had 2 goals for Orlando at Charlotte.
You know, Coach Tino was talking, and we got a chance to sit down with him as we normally do, and he was so high on this player, and you know, referenced the power, the confidence, the personality, the ability to do things like that. But we haven't seen it often with country as much as we've seen it with his club teams. And I think he was a little bit timid in games I saw when he initially came into the U.S. camp, but playing with confidence now for sure.
Out it goes on the far side for an Uruguay corner.
A very important challenge there. Gets it absolutely right, Mackenzie.
Freeze comes, gave a big shout and a big punch away. Chipped back in by Salazar. Hernandez rolls it back. He had that shot that rattled the crossbar. Salazar. Agate wide to the far side. McKenzie clears away. The US back line and keeper haven't had an awful lot to do so far tonight. McKenzie finds Freeman. Haji Wright trying to turn. Let's head back downstairs to Melissa Ortiz.
Brace scorer Alex Freeman. He was named the 2025 MLS Young Player of the Year. When asked about managing the pressure afterwards, he says, yeah, I'm getting a lot of congrats from players and staff, but it's about keeping the same comfortability, keeping the confidence, even adding confidence to my game, and keeping consistency between national team and club team. Mauricio Pochettino said Alex is so powerful, he's so intense. When he goes forward, he can't stop. Guys, just talking to Mauricio, he's been very high on Alex Freeman.
Salazar's ball into the middle. Vina tries to find Hernandez. Morris clears it away. Back out to the edge of the box. Federico Viñas nowhere close. Here's the other thing on Alex Freeman. You tend to forget that Freeman, MLS Young Player of the Year, he's now played in 13 of 14 games, and this is his 10th start since his debut, which was only against Turkey and Hartford in June. Seems like he's been around the international scene for a lot longer than that.
But I think we are watching El go early and say, someone growing into becoming a star for this team. That's the side of the field when you think about Dest and this switch in formation that frees him up a little bit more, where he can be the attacking-minded person. I mean, if they can establish a wonderful dynamic over on that side of the field, a lot of times in those wide positions as you're forming rosters and you're picking teams, you think about dynamics and chemistry. And that chemistry looks pretty good right now.
10 minutes before halftime here at Raymond James Stadium. Morris gets a touch to it. Luna finds Berhalter, who in turn plays it forward to Tillman. Two players on the same side tonight, but this weekend will be going up against each other in the Major League Soccer playoffs in the Western Conference semi-final. Berhalter for Vancouver, Tillman for LAFC. Here's McKenzie at the back.
You know, Luke, what's so interesting is we watch U.S. training a lot. We got to watch it yesterday. And they do these, you know, you kind of call them shadow drills, where they move in patterns with the ball. And Pochettino, that's where he gets really involved. And he wants speed. He wants, you know, dynamism. And it's almost choreographed to a certain level. And they've got these different looks at how they play out in transition. It almost looks like a shadow drill against a Uruguay. I mean, they're so comfortable playing through that initial pressure. Pochettino's got to be thrilled with that.
Freeman's dad, Antonio, played in this stadium 3 times in the NFL, no touchdown. His son has the 2 goals tonight.
Luke, we got to get you in that pirate ship over there. You want to call a second half over there?
You'd love that, wouldn't you? I got a feeling that if anyone is suited to the pirate ship, it's Melissa Ortiz. Maybe.
I hope so. I hope so.
I'm very much not a pirate kind of person. Luna. Now Berhalter. Wide to the left touchline, it's Tolkien. Tolkien, lovely skill there as he plays the ball inside, drops towards Aidan Morris. Now it's Berhalter. Left-hand touchline, Tillman with the pass back into the middle. It's cleared out for a throw right by halfway here for the United States, who are winless in their last 3 against Uruguay. In fact, they just scored 1 goal in their last 3 games against Uruguay. There's Marcelo Bielsa, who coached Argentina at the 2002 World Cup, and Chile to a round of 16 finish in 2010 when they lost against Brazil. Berhalter's ball forward here for Wright. Ball back for Luna.
Uruguay, they just can't get a break. And one of the great parts about possessing the ball well and having that great spatial awareness and good positioning is the U.S. is in great spots to win the ball back in the counter press. This is the right idea. You know, right looks, he can see that Luna's coming. Just well done to be intercepted before that. And it's just a nice look to the sequence of the U.S. It's never one player moving, whether they have the ball or they don't. It's multiple players in transition getting in their spots.
Here comes Dest forward. McKenzie. Betancourt in the midfield. Won the Europa League with Tottenham last season. He's been there almost 5 years. Flag is up here on Nandez down the right side. Nathan Nandez, who now plays for Al Qadsiya in the Saudi Pro League. He was sent off in the 2024 Copa America quarter-final against Brazil when they lost on penalties. Of course, the last meeting between these two was the Copa America group stage at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City when the US were eliminated. A 1-0 win that day for Uruguay. The Impact Match on TNT is presented by New York Life, proud sponsor of US Soccer. More powerful together. 3-0 the scoreline here. 1 for Sebastian Berhalter. 2 for Alex Freeman. Two other halves under Mauricio Pochettino where the US have scored 3 and not conceded. One was in the Nations League a year ago, in fact, against Jamaica in November of 2024 in St. Louis. The home leg of that tie. The other one was against Trinidad and Tobago in the Gold Cup, both first halves where they scored 3 and didn't concede, but I think very different circumstances for both of those games. Fair to say that this would be the best half of football under Mauricio Pochettino.
Easy, for sure. We talked about intensity level, competitive nature, and spirit's been there, but there's still things that they've needed to improve on. There were still areas, mistakes, lapses. This is headed towards that complete performance he's been looking for from the team. So let's see if they can maintain it.
Ness cuts inside. This is Luna. Berhalter with the cross in. Haji Wright tries to get there, but Pierre-Marin came and claimed.
Set man Berhalter has been excellent on set pieces. Almost finds right there.
Inside the final 4 minutes of a first half that has been dominated by the United States from the opening whistle. Trusty. Down the line, kept in by Tolkien. Tolkien rolls it forward for Tillman. Tillman into the middle. It's Luna! It's 4! Diego Luna with the goal. A quite remarkable first half performance from the United States.
That's amazing how contagious confidence is. Look at this lovely little chip pass here from Chusky. And it just, again, almost like a shadow drill. Just beautiful sequence ball, always in the right place. The pace, the pass. Yeah, he cuts back, obviously deflects nicely for Luna, but it was headed right in front of Haji Wright if it doesn't come to Luna, and just calmly side puts it right into the net. Very rare to have a performance like this where you don't even give Pierre-Marin an opportunity to save efforts. It's just been irresistible from the U.S.
The 4th international goal for Diego Luna. Cap number 18 for the Real Salt Lake man. Luna's 15th appearance in a row tonight, his 9th start, the longest active streak of appearances of any player within this U.S. men's national team squad. And the US has 4 goals in the first half of the game for the first time since the win against Ghana in Nashville on October of 2023. And coming up next is the Volkswagen halftime show when Brad Guzan, DeMarcus Beasley and Brian Dunseth will join Sarah Walsh. And there's plenty for them to talk about. Arrascaeta's ball forward. Viñas. And through towards Arrascaeta.
Arrascaeta he just rushed here. Yeah, good pass into it, but just McKenzie, how quickly he comes there to put the pressure on. But you have to say, I mean, that's Boer from the number 10. Should be bearing that.
Here's Melissa.
On that dead ball, assistant coach Jesus and head coach Mauricio Pochettino were yelling at Haji Wright because he did not stand in front of the ball. Guys, we know that US is leading 4-0, but that's the standard that the coaching staff wants to have from the team, not to lay low, which almost resulted in a goal. So he was yelling at Haji Wright because that's exactly what he wants to see out of players, even with this type of lead.
It was 4-0, and you look down at the touch side, and Mauricio Pochettino has waving his arms around on the edge of the technical area, furious with what just occurred there.
That's the standard. Like the standard is there's never a letdown. There's never a shutoff, and he dealt with a lot of that through the first year of his tenure. So just holding the bar very, very high from a concentration and commitment standpoint.
We're into 1 minute of time being added on at the end of the first half as Ugarte plays it backwards. Reese came and couldn't quite get there. It's an opportunity here, and Trusty will clear it away. Viñas down the left side towards the byline as he stands the cross back in. Trusty flicks it further clear. Oh, what a goal! Uruguay pull one back. Arrascaeta. In stoppage time at the end of the half.
Well, it starts with a mistake here, miscommunication. You have 3 U.S. players all coming for the ball at the same time. You got to say that's on Matt Freese. You got to make sure that you come out and make that play. And I mean, how about that? Arrascaeta doesn't like to tap in. He said, give me something a little bit harder to do. That's about as good as an overhead kick can be. Lovely skill there. Capitalizes on the mistake made by the U.S.
And that is the last kick of the first half. And Mauricio Pochettino is not happy. He's talking to the assistant referee, but he won't be happy that on a couple of occasions they're right at the end of the half. His team let Uruguay in. Only 1 goal against. They scored 4. And the US are in control here. The US Soccer Impact match on TNT is presented by New York. Alex Freeman with 2 goals, his first 2 international goals. Sebastian Berhalter had started the scoring before that. Luna got the 4th right before half-time. But Georgian de Arrascaeta with a stunning strike pulled one back for Uruguay in first half stoppage time. Coming into the game, Rodrigo Aguirre, Brian Rodriguez, and at the back, Joaquin Piquerez, as Marcelo Bielsa makes those 3 changes. He brings out Matias Viña, the left back. He also brings out Rodrigo Salazar and Federico Viñas, who didn't really touch the ball much in that first half, the man on loan at Oviedo in Spain. So Bielsa clearly not happy and hoping that that late strike from Arrascaeta can try and spark some life into his side. No changes made by Mauricio Pochettino at the midway mark as Diego Luna, who got that 4th goal and scored his 4th for his country in the 42nd minute. Gets it back for Freeman. Freeman, of course, having success tonight in his home state where he plays with Orlando City. Uruguay, the first time ever trailing by 3 goals at half-time against a CONCACAF team. The United States, it's only the 2nd time ever scoring 4 goals in a game against a common ball opponent. That came in 2016, a 4-0 win against Bolivia, but they got the 4 goals here in the space of just 42 first half minutes. Betancourt. Ugarte. Piquerez down the left side, the substitute who came in at half-time. Piquerez playing in the left-back position now. Palmeiras defender. His 18th cap, he came back in March after a knee injury. Trying to force his way into the World Cup squad. This is Freeman. Forward over halfway for Tillman. Pushed into the path of Haji Wright. Right here, there's a chance for the weight to open up, but couldn't get the shot away. Betancourt brings it clear. Berhalter wins it back here. This is Tillman. Tillman might have a goal from distance. And he stings the palms of Fiermarin.
fun.
Everyone's in confident mood, Kyle.
I think Pochettino's message when he was talking to Melissa is about don't let that turn into mismanaging the game. Don't let confidence turn into complacency and taking risks that you wouldn't take if the scoreline was 0-0.
So a couple of changes for Marcelo Bielsa from an attacking sense as he brings in Rodrigo Aguirre, the 31-year-old forward who plays for Club America, played 90 minutes against Mexico, had 3 goals in World Cup qualifying. Hernandez down the right side. Out it goes off Aidan Morris. And also Brian Rodriguez coming in as well, another America man who started against Mexico, former LAFC man, who won the 2019 Supporters Shield in Los Angeles. Free kick on the far side. Screams coming from the bench towards the 4th official on the near side.
Rodriguez, as that ball comes through, it's actually Bentancur. Don't think he intends that. You saw he slipped. I mean, it's so unlucky for Tolkien because that one hurts. But Bentancur was actually just trying to get his footing and slipped right into him.
Mauricio Pochettino with a 4-1 lead over a man he has admired and learned from for so long. Pochettino and Bielsa managing against each other 3 times before, all in La Liga when Mauricio Pochettino was with Espanyol. Bielsa was with Athletic Club. Pochettino unbeaten in 3 meetings against Marcelo Bielsa. A couple of draws in 2012, a 2-1 win in 2011. Pochettino playing under Bielsa with Newell's Old Boys, won 2 league titles in Argentina, also played under him for Espanyol. And all of Pochettino's 20 caps for Argentina, including the World Cup in 2002, coming under the man he is going up against tonight. Haji Wright. Aguirre picks it up. Gareth Guetta couldn't get there, comes back for Freeman. Luna. Freeman's ball inside here for Berhalter. Morris. Tico got a touch to that one. Spursman flips it out to Gareth Guetta. Down the left side by Piquerez, the substitute. Berhalter trying to win it back on halfway, but it goes out wide to that far side, and Hernandez carries it forward. A 72nd cap tonight, Hernandez, 29-year-old defender. It's the 10th all-time meeting between these teams, and the US just with 2 victories down the years against Uruguay. The last one was a 2-1 win in May of 2002 at RFK Stadium. DeMarcus Beasley scored the winner. I believe we saw that spectacular goal in the pre-game show. Here's Dest racing forward down the right side. Dest ball in. Haji Wright couldn't quite get there. The only other US win was back in May of 1991 by 1-0. Freeman, nudged inside for Morris. Tillman gets it back from Luna. Tillman coming on in the 75th minute against Paraguay. It's his first appearance since his debut back in January of 2024 against Slovenia in January camp in San Antonio. Puts in from Morris, but he's given away the foul. Maximiliano Araujo, the player that is fouled. Sporting man. 26th cap for him. Got a goal in the Champions League in early November at Juventus, played against Weston McKennie that day. Maxi Araujo. Things have slowed down somewhat after breathless first 45 minutes here at Raymond James Stadium.
It'll be interesting to see how Pochettino uses his bench. What time does he go to it? And obviously, you've got some players that a game that is going to be open with Uruguay chasing it. An excellent threat, perfect position to bring them in. I would expect to see Gio Reyna at some point. It's a perfect game for him.
Rivera came a long way to get involved. It goes back to Ugarte. Araujo down that right side. The Barcelona man will quickly take the throw here to get things going once again. He's played in 3 of Barcelona's 4 Champions League games this year. Ball played forward as Aguirre chasing. And he's into it with Trusty here.
Really well done from Trusty. I mean, he read that, had to be physical. Make sure he was able to get it over the end line. I think that back 3 has been excellent. Just little afters.
It was all smiles this time, but again, the US players were right around the situation. US unbeaten in 4 straight against FIFA top 40 teams for the first time since 2015. This would make it 5. Betancourt. Out to the left for Piqueres, who has no chance of getting there.
And you can see Berhalter at the midfield clapping Diego Luna for that effort. I mean, those little things we talked about in the first half make such a difference. When you're consistently putting the head down of defenders, you're pressing, you're making things difficult. It's not always with the ball you affect the game. And Diego Luna, I'm sure he wants to get on the ball a little more, wants his chances in the final third. But I mean, you've seen him almost like a wing back, getting into that back line to defend at times.
Ugarte here just inside his own half. Wide for Piqueres down the left. Inside from Araujo. Rodriguez on that far side, the substitute back for Betancourt. Uruguay with a bit of possession here, just over 10 minutes into the second half. Ugarte playing it back. Oliveira forward. Betancourt wide to the right. Hernandez there linking up with Rodriguez as the cross is deep for Aguirre, but Trusty flicks it up. Berhalter tries to get it further clear. Puts down for Betancourt. Foot in from Tolkien. Now it's played across goal. Freeze has to get there. Behind it goes for a corner. Yarosqueta already has one tonight. He flashed that shot towards goal.
You wonder if he's trying this. I don't think so. I think he's just trying to hit it with pace and just slices it, but almost catches Freeze near post.
Rodriguez takes it back out all the way towards Piqueres, who drives it from distance. That one went off Berhalter. Luna. Mackenzie helps it on. Rodriguez with the cross in deep, in towards the back post. Piqueres. Tillman got a touch to it. Betancourt plays it out.
Here's another look. And you can see he just catches it off the end of his toe. Freeze had to be there to make the save. That was going to sneak in that near post. Well done.